Hey, I'm Birdman.
I'm Bruce.
Time to get on target at
The Hub. Here we are.
Boom.
And
so we got all this stuff.
This is kind of a cool thing today, and we'll kind of tell them how this came about. People ask all the time what we use at the Hub up here in Lakeside as our lubricant, and because we have the range, of course, and we also have all the used gun sales that come in and out of here.
So
That's how
I've
this
noticed
started.
some people that they clean it with one thing, they lubricate it with another thing, and then they ask about protecting it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of confusion about to get the hoppies. I'm gonna pick on hoppies.
Yeah, but hoppies makes an aftershave for us old guys because
it is
really bad,
oily, greasy. If you're still using that, I don't know why. And I would love somebody to tell me why, other than nostalgia.
Well,
and because
I think what some of that comes from, and they still use like that kind of a gun scrap. We won't use a lot of names because there's all kinds of products out there.
I know, and I picked on them, and there's a lot like them.
We picked on hoppies only because it's been around
Michael
for 70
upset
years.
with me because they actually still sell
Yeah,
it. So. I'm sorry.
It's been there for about 70 years, so hoppies is hoppies.
Yeah.
I think part of that stuff, some of that, people use carburetor cleaner. You've worked on cars and motorcycles your whole life. You use it when you haven't, when it's so bad, that you haven't taken care of things, and you have to strip them down. And that's where some of that comes from. And now you know more, you remember more about when we got into this. I'm thinking 5 years ago or 6 years ago. 'Cause I remember meeting Dwight at the shows before, but
Can you walk you through my experience of how I got introduced to Seal One?
Yes.
Okay, so I went to SHOT Show for the first time and was meeting a bunch of people, and it was a family of brands and everything, and went and got to meet Dwight and Scott there at their booth at the SHOT Show. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, this is everything. And they gave me a little sample, and it was like, okay, it's kind of looks like another product that's a different color, and whip-de-doo.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but they're cool guys, so I like this. And a lot of times you buy people, you don't buy products. So it's I like them, so I'm going to try their product. I worked with it and had it a little bit and had the other product and kept using both. So Ron Bellin, Reaper 01, who's, by the way, his birthday was supposed to be yesterday. We miss him dearly.
Yeah.
He came here for HubFest.
Yes.
And we were talking about the product, and I said, oh, yeah, I started using it, and I started using this more than anything else, but I still had some of the other stuff left over.
And we were using it, too.
Still using it. Okay, it was a different color. And I thought, it really looks kind of the same. And he goes, no, let me show you. And he goes through, and he takes me through how the product works, and then he told me the backstory on the product and how it evolved from one product to the other product. But he goes, this, doesn't have, look at all these bottles, and they were all sucked in. On not Seal One.
The other brand.
The other brand was all sucked in. He goes, you see that? He goes, that's because they have alcohol in it. And he goes, what happens with alcohol over time is it gums things up and it evaporates. And in the bottles, they were all sucked in. And I was like, oh, wow, that's nuts. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Well, I had a gun that was a Gen 4 Glock that I had stopped using because I'd gotten the Gen 5 in. So I had cycled it out, and I had basically coated it with the other stuff, put it in my safe, and it had been there for about 6 months. So I went, well, that's interesting. After you told me the story, I'm going to go back home, I'm going to check my safe, pull it out of the safe, and I go to pull the slide back, and it literally was icky, stucky. And it felt sticky. I mean, it was definitely, and it was gummed up, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, we started using it, I think about 5 years ago. We were using the other product, and now we started to notice, and it wasn't always like that at the beginning, I don't think, but then it got worse. And then towards the end, we had some, and it seemed like I noticed it first on guns that have a tighter tolerance.
Right. Like
some of the 1911, the all-steel guns, and that's been going on for a long time. And we switched to this stuff, I think about 5 years ago, and I think Ron was instrumental in getting us going originally, and we were using it before the Hub Fest.
Right.
And now the story, and I don't like to talk about, I'm not a feature, I'm more of a benefit person.
Right.
Because features we can read on the back of the bottle.
Yeah.
But I wrote a couple down just because it makes sense to me, and I was trying to think of what made sense, why we love this product. When I said why we love this product, I clean personally over 100 guns a month with this product.
Right.
You know, with all our used guns and stuff. And then the guys in the range do, and then you got Steve and the other guys, they're cleaning with it too. So, and everybody here personally uses it on their guns. In fact, there's 4 guns here we'll look at in a second. There's a reason why we brought them.
Okay.
But getting back to the points, it does all 3 things: cleans, lubricates, and protects.
And protects.
And I use it on my archery stuff. I use it on my knives, because we're knife guys. So anything you're worried about maybe rusting, because it does get into metal and holds it. Even though we wipe it off with a paper towel afterwards, it's still in the metal.
So I have a trailer where I have a basically PVC conduit that goes underneath it, and it's for audio and video stuff. We drop cables out of that. Well, it has the cap on it. Well, the cap would, like, you know, you drive a trailer around, it gets dirt and everything up on it, would stick, so I'd have to take a wrench with me. So I coated the threads with this, and I can now do it by hand. It doesn't come off by itself. I've never had it fall off, but it literally, I can undo it and do it, and it deals with the water and the grime and stuff like that. I clean it every so often, but it's like tons better now.
We're talking about that. We're talking about suppressors, especially the 22 suppressors. And the other thing is, it's USDA certified,
it's
bio-green-based product, which is unbelievable. Now, we get into some of that. We're only going to use one name. That's the hoppies, because we've used it our whole life.
Right.
There's a lot of chemicals in there that are not good for your body.
No, a ton.
Most of the stuff, and I'm not sure. So basically, it's certified USDA bio-based, and it's the longer you use it, every time you use it, the easier it is the next time. The only well, there's some different ones here. There's a liquid. Most of the stuff we use is this, and we use a little paste once in a while. And some of these little ones here that we put in a gun bag or something like that.
Yeah, these are the samples that they have. It's like a 1 ounce sample.
So if we get an AR that hasn't been taken care of, especially a suppressed AR,
right.
And I like to use a little bit of the spray on it, let it sit a second.
Yep.
But it does dissolve. It actually liquefies carbon on contact, which is, now that's just carbon. That's not lead necessarily, and it's not brass and all those specialty things. But those, you may have to brush differently on some of the rifles, but you need to get back this stuff. It cleans and it fouls less. Now, this is 5 years, and I'm just going to come out right now because I don't get paid to endorse any of this stuff. So we pick what we want to, and it works. So that's, people ask me all the time, how can we use this? And when they take the classes and stuff like that, they always end up going to this, and they come back and thank me, and they use it for everything. They have one product, kind of does everything. Now, you can get these other ones if you're starting out with a very dirty gun, and you may have to do it 2 or 3 times, but it does strip everything off.
So somebody the other day was like, well, you know, the problem is it works so good, and I don't clean my guns that often, that you don't use much of it. So you buy like a 4 ounce bottle, and you have it for years. And that doesn't necessarily, what you should do is clean your guns more often. So it should encourage you to just use them more often.
Yes, it does make you think it keeps running, because it doesn't cake up as much. Now, we were talking before about the other product, which is kind of a similar product, but that was caking up. It's just like if you find guns that have been in safes for a long time. We have people bring guns in and haven't been looked at for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
Grease and oil does the same thing. It just takes longer.
Yeah.
This stuff, and so we brought this stuff in today, and I don't know how we could see these.
We're gonna move
so
over
these
here.
4 guns are my personal guns.
Okay.
A couple of them we shot for videos within the last 4 months.
Okay.
And 2 of them here haven't seen the light of day.
And of course, this was recorded previously.
And here's what we've done. When we're looking at these, they came out of a special area, unloaded area in my safe, but we're going to clear them in a second. But I didn't want to clear them first in case there was an issue with the stickiness.
Right.
So that's the only reason we haven't pre-cleared these.
Okay.
It'd be embarrassing as hell if there's a cartridge in there.
So go ahead.
Okay, so let's start with them. These 2 on this particular one here, I'll put them as according to age. How's that?
Okay.
These are the ones that haven't been, these 2 here, and one's a 226,
right,
and one's the 92. And the first thing you're going to notice that they don't look like they've been shot.
Yep.
Another thing that this stuff does, it stops the wear. So when you look at guns, how the barrels wear and stuff, if you keep this clean every time we shoot them, even though it doesn't need it, you don't think it needs it, it makes them run smoother. The frames wear better, the siding, you can take a look at this. So we're going to clear these 2, which are the oldest ones that haven't been touched.
Right.
I'll start with the 226 because it's closest.
Okay.
I'll make sure we drop the magazine, and then I'm just going to rack it back. Okay. Now you see that?
Yeah.
That's slick.
Yeah.
And that has been, and you can see it's all dry. Completely dry and perfectly slick. Okay, so that's the 226. And this happens to be talking about Ron today. This happens to be a gun similar to his.
Yep.
Okay, this one we'll look at again, nice, and we'll check it out. That's probably 8 to 10 months with that's ever been touched.
Right.
Slick.
Yes.
Okay. Now we got 2 more to go through. Now these 2 here, this is a Glock 41, and we did a video on this about 4 months ago or 5 months ago. So that's the last time this was shot and cleaned.
Right.
And when did we do this 10 millimeter? That was about 3 months ago.
About 3 months ago, yeah.
And that was the last time. So we'll do the Glock.
Do this one here, and then you'll have to bring
Okay, we'll do the Glock one first?
Yep.
Keep this aiming towards the people here.
Sure. Safe handling. There you go.
You feel that slick. And also, touch the slides on these.
And these are all,
dry and perfectly smooth.
Cool.
And you don't see all the wear marks in it, right?
And then the last one.
The last one is the 10 millimeter. Slick.
Very good.
So, I brought those in specifically just to let everybody know that we use these personally.
Yeah.
I love this stuff. And everything that I had to worry about being outside, I use it.
So these are your wonderful queens.
Yeah, I put them away clean.
They hang out, your queen. I call them.
My queen.
Well,
no, I shoot them.
I know you do. I'm just picking on you.
Yeah, okay.
The queens.
Yeah.
So I've got my daily carry.
I have mine too, but
every single day.
It's just perfectly slick.
Yeah, perfectly slick, no wear. And
I don't get any holster wear. Now, I know
Yeah.
we're starting to use those LAG holsters like we like, and we use sometimes an inside holster.
Yep.
And I use mostly outside here because we want to wear them outside here.
But I got to tell you, even because I had the Gen 4, which I used with the other stuff,
Yeah.
that has nose wear on it, that literally same holster with the Gen 5, but I used Steel 1 from day one. It has no nose wear, it has no side wear, it has nothing like that.
Yeah, so
the only thing that's worn on it is the slide release.
Yeah, but
is silver because it sits up against the side of my body, and that's it.
No, this stuff it's pretty interesting stuff.
So-
And it sounds like we're talking about snake oil, but again,
It's not.
This is something that we personally use. People ask every day about this stuff.
They'll give you the samples. You can call these people on their telephone number. You'll get a real person that will either answer the phone or call you back. Dwight, it's funny. Dwight has his number listed up there, but when you call it, it redirects and goes right to his cell phone, and he answers it.
Yeah.
And if he's in a plane or he's doing something, he obviously doesn't, but he gets back to you. And
another thing,
that's
we were
just what
talking
the
about people.
company
We like to be around like-type people.
Yep.
And when you meet the guy the first time, we weren't buying anything from him. He's always been nice.
Yes.
Just like Ron, when I first met Ron, everybody's just so nice. So you like to be around people like that. This stuff is really neat. And getting away from 3 or 4 different chemicals and getting down to one.
It's better for you. It's better for the environment.
Yep.
It's better for your gun. It's just better, period.
Yeah.
So
it's cool. So there's our documentary, what we were going to call this today.
Yep.
We love the stuff, and we usually do what we like. We decide what we're going to do on these podcasts. We're not told. In fact, most of the time, you don't even know what they are.
Yeah. So go get some Steel 1 and give us your story. That's what we want down posted below. And let us know what your experience is with it. Because I challenge anybody to not find it works better than anything else you're currently using.
Yeah, and I've personally seen it work literally thousands and thousands and thousands of times over the last 5 years. So
cool.
we got a pretty good history of it. Try it, and you'll be surprised.
Hey, make sure you're checking out thehubaz.com, the Facebook page, Instagram, all that. Yep. I'm Birdman.
And I'm Bruce, and be safe. Thank you. Do we have any questions, answers today? Maybe not.
I don't know. I don't remember.
We'll remember. But thanks very much, and
Thank you
keep
very
doing
much.
it, and we'll be here.